Welcome, Bracco here. Please hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and share. Now, I've done a few videos looking into the FDA's approval process for Pfizer and its vaccine, as well as the ridiculous idea of the FDA wanting to push 55 years to 75 years to have these FOIA request documents released, which they need to be released immediately. We have a right to know how the FDA came to this approval. Now, as a follow-up, I want to do a two-part series. Part one, I want to cover the unscrupulous history that Pfizer has. And then in part two, I'm going to cover a more in-depth review of the Pfizer clinical trial that lasted only 2 months. So I hope you stay tuned. Now let's get into part one. Okay, so considering the past and the unscrupulous things that Pfizer has been known for, here was a press release from the Justice Department's own website. Justice Department announced largest healthcare fraud settlement in history. Pfizer to pay $2.3 billion for fraudulent marketing. Well, that's just one incident. Let's move on to the next one. Wyeth and Pfizer agree to pay $784.6 million. There's another example here. On October 22nd, 2008, Madigan and 33 AGs reached $60 million settlement with Pfizer. Agreement concludes investigation into improper marketing of pain relievers. Now we can see that with just these few examples of fines and penalties and settlements that Pfizer has with governments and agencies that well, they're not really a trustworthy organization, are they? And now the FDA all of a sudden thinks that they're on the up and up. By the way, one of the agencies that handed out these stiff penalties was the FDA. So we have to ask ourselves, why all of a sudden the change of heart, FDA? Is there a conflict of interest with those running the FDA? Anyhow, that's all we have for part one. So stay tuned for part two when we get into the more in-depth review of the clinical trial of Pfizer.